All right. Just figuring things out here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Modern Arnis Live with CMATS and your host, Jordan Dellabough. The voice that is bodiless right now. There's the studio. We have the image of the studio. I'm just going to check on some technical stuff we're doing here to make sure that our stream is all in the up and up. And it looks like it's 60 frames per second, 8,500 kilobits a second. That's all good. No drop frames. Okay, we're looking good. But on that note, where am I? Here we go. Ah, there I am. Hello. Good evening. We have some little bit of stuff to talk about. But first, I got to go notify Facebook. Take a few minutes, enjoy the view of the studio. And I will come back in just a second once I've notified Facebook and done some techie stuff. And we'll get started on what we're going to do tonight for Modern Arnis. And or if anyone shows up tonight to assist me, or am I alone? We'll find out. If you are logged into Google or logged into YouTube, you can chat live with me. I got a chat board up here, up above me. And I'll glance at that to see if anyone has any questions about what we're doing. But we are talking about or doing the modern Arnis. It's a Filipino martial art that was created by the late Professor Remy A. Precis. But before we get into all that, I'm going to go do the other stuff I just said, and I'll be right back. Enjoy the view of the studio. But I'm still here. I'm just kind of focused. Let's see. There we go. And we'll expand that, give that. Facebook, let everyone know we are live. There we go. And we'll share that. Oh, I'm getting faster at this. Big Steve would be so proud of me right now. There we go. Okay, Facebook's been notified. That's all good. Back to our live stream. Nothing too exciting happening on the mats yet, but we'll get there. We got some announcements to make, or an idea, well, not an announcement to make. Make it sound like it's more than one, but it's only one. Well, no, is there more than one? There might be only one. But let me do something else here. I'm back. Here we are, down in the corner here. So what's happening? Well, that's interesting. I think I have my video switched around. That'd be interesting if I could change that. Oh well. What's happening? There is a camp coming up. We have a one-day camp coming up February 4th, starting at 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. We got the registration started. We got up to, just the other day, we got up to 10 people already on there. And we're just clicking along. Hopefully, you know, in this studio, a nice number's about 15. Getting a little cramped around 20. But comfort level, 15 would be great. And I think we'll have that turnout this year. For our February winter camp. But it's only going to be a one-day winter camp, as I'm just making sure that I'm comfortable with my abilities again, and that I'm able to last as long and be able to give what it takes to put on a camp when I only put on the camp by myself. So normally I run a 2-day camp, which would last all the way to Sunday as well, and promotions. But this time we're just going to do promotions on the Sunday, a 9 till 9 on the Saturday. And hopefully everyone will enjoy it. We're going to have snacks for people to snack on, break for a little bit of lunch, break for a little bit of dinner, and just keep training and just kind of dive into the deep end of the pool and see why people keep coming back to them and why they enjoy them. And plus, just the people that don't even know sometimes who else is training out there. They get to meet other people, and this, having spent 2.5 years of trying to stay away from people, and now we're getting back into the idea of being social again. This is a great idea. Well, we always, as well here at the studio, we always practice, safety in everything that we do, not just doing swinging the sticks and doing the techniques, but also, making sure our hands are washed, making sure we're not coming to class when we're sick and coughing on everyone else, and taking good measures so that we can explore the art, meet new people, and have a lot of fun. That being said, that's coming down on February 4th, 2023. If that interests you and you're in the area of where are we? In the area. Where are we? For some of you out there watching who've never timed into this channel before, we do give a subscribe to the channel, do give a thumbs up on the video. But we are located in Canada, on the west coast of Canada, in a province called British Columbia. In that province, there's an island off the south west of the province called Vancouver Island. And on Vancouver Island, we are in and around the city of Victoria. And that's where our CMATS headquarters is. And this is where we play. So if you're in that area and you want to come out to a seminar, happy to have you out. Send me an email. You can go to cmats@modernarnis.ca, or you can go to the www.modernarnis.ca and check out our website. You'll have my email address there as well. And we also got Facebook. We're on Facebook. What are we? I should get this straight someday. I always seem to forget. Here we are. We are Modern Arnis CMATS. There we go. Modern Arnis CMATS on Facebook. And I believe that's our group page, but we also have a main page, which is the Canadian Modern Arnis Training Studios. Let's go back here. That's all good. And that's over here. Okay. Let's see if anyone chatting out there. Don't forget, if you're logged into Google's, logged into YouTube's or whatever, you can chat with us. I got the billboard or the board above here where it displays the chat, and we can talk. For now, I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to head out on the mats, see if there's something else we can do, and turn off this mic here and turn on the mic that's on the mats so you can hear me a lot clearer. And maybe I might practice some forms. Maybe I might do some striking. I never know. When I'm by myself, which is what's happening tonight, Big Steve is at home taking care of himself. Another person that could have made it out, Emma, we got to give her a nickname someday. Emma is unavailable to make it tonight, and then a few others are also busy, so looks like I get the whole place to myself. Little sneak peek into what I do. Watch, I'll do nothing. I'll just go there, lay on the mats, and this is a live performance, and you'll watch nothing but me laying there on the mats. No, I won't do that. But that being said, we're only going to go till about 7:15, 7:20 tonight, and then we'll wrap it up then. Anything else I'm forgetting? If you have any questions, do ask, do chat. Give me a sound check, somebody out there. Somebody give me a sound check. Can you hear the sound okay? And can you see the studio behind me okay? That'd be great to know. Let's change the mics now, and I'm going to head on to the mats. Where am I going here? I always forget what I'm doing. I need someone to do all this techie bits stuff for me someday. That'd be nice. Get to that point. I'm turning off this mic, turning on that one. There we go. So now I should sound a little more distant right now. And we'll change the scene. There we go. Back out to the mats. And don't forget, if you're new to this channel, do subscribe to our channel, CMATS channel. It helps the algorithms of YouTube send out our videos, and we get more likes and thumbs ups and views. That always helps the channel, and that'd be great as we work our way up to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, we're doing it the old school way, where you actually have legitimate people hitting the subscribe button as opposed to buying subscribers. I saw that you could do that. Big Steve, if you're watching out there, buying subscribers. We could get to 1,000 real quick that way. Anyways. Always a good time here at CMATS. We'll get started. I'll be on the mats in just a second. give me a sound check, a video check. Somebody out there. There we go. Quick courtesy. Hello, hello, hello. And where's Igor? Come here, Igor. Come keep me company, Igor. We're gonna do some basic stuff tonight. Come keep me company. All right. There we go. Come on. I saw someone beating on you last night, eh? You survived? There we go. Ah. There. How's that? Is he lightened up pretty good? And is he within camera angle? Wow, we have quite the latency tonight. What is going on? What is going on? Why the latency? This is almost like a minute or 2 minutes latency. This is crazy. All right, well, I won't be able to see that for a second. Never a dull moment here at CMATS. No, no. That should be within parameters. Maybe about there. Let's go with that. Okay. There we go. Now I'll give you a courtesy. Okay. So here we are, learning about the art of modern Arnis. We're going to start off real basic tonight and just teach 1 to 12 strike and go from there. What's really odd though is for some reason, can anyone see me out there right now? Because I'm standing in front of the camera, but yet my computer is showing that it's just the studio. So I'm kind of curious as to what's happening here. There we go. Okay. That should work. 3, 2, 1. Okay, no, I trust now we're okay. Technical difficulties on the old computer. All right, Igor, you ready? So learning 1 to 12 strike. Within modern Arnis, within CMATS, the Canadian Modern Arnis Training Studios, and of course created by the late Professor Remy A. Precis. And first thing I do is I want to learn to hold my stick properly. One of those ideas to hold my stick properly is I develop a 3-finger strong idea. And I let the forefinger, it's sitting there, but it's actually not giving me strength. It's going to be used later on. And the thumb is just relaxed. When we're doing disarms, when we're doing joint manipulations, different things I can use this, use my fingers for, and grabbing someone's stick. But right now, I'm going to worry about keeping these 3 fingers strong, almost like an eagle's claw. Almost like a baby. If you have a baby out there between the ages of, I don't know, 6 months and a year, watch how they grab something on the ground or grab something around them. You'll see that they don't use their pointer finger yet. They don't come in and grab a pencil like this yet. They grab their crayon or their marker in this type of fashion. So when they go to do that, you can watch that and you can see it's the same way now we're gripping our stick. Second thing that's important is the puño, this part right here. I don't want to have too much puño. I don't want someone to be able to get a hold of that. And I don't want to have too little puño where I can't even use it. So a happy medium is I can use it, but you can see I can't get a full grab on there. I can't get a full grab. And that's the idea. So that's how I'm going to grip my stick. Second thing I'm going to do is leaving my left hand in front of my chest. I'm not going to worry about the footwork yet. I'm not going to put that on cam tonight. So just leave your right foot forward, working on your closed V footwork. So I'll demonstrate that back here for you. I'm here. Right here. I'm just going to leave my right foot forward. My hips are squared up. I'd be facing Igor, but I'm going to face you guys for a second. I got my hand in my center, and I'm nice and relaxed. Weight on the front foot. I should be able to lift up this back foot with ease. I shouldn't have to do this. there should be a lot of body motion. My weight, a lot of it should be right on the front foot, 90%, 10% on the back. Heel is up, and that's my stance for tonight. When you don't see my feet, that's what I'm doing down here. At least that's what we hope we're doing down there. Okay. Now, again, if you're logged into Google's, I see some people coming in. Do chat with us, say hello, or if you're logged into YouTube's, give a thumbs up on this video and a subscribe. That'd be great. But here we go back to 1 to 12 strike on Igor. And his name, I know a lot of people call him Bob. I call him Igor because Igor was donated to the studio by a guy named Igor. So in thanks to Igor for this, I've always named him and made him feel like he's part of the studio. I leave him here named Igor. So here I am, I got my stance we just talked about, got my hand in my center, my hips are squared up, and first thing I do is I extend. Now, for safety's sake, when you're working with somebody, I always practice about 6 inches away from their head on each side for good practice when I'm learning just to strike. Why? Because this tip will want to waver when you try to stop it, and when it wavers, it does this. So as I stop it, I don't want it to accidentally hit somebody, so I practice not hitting somebody in the very beginning. So I'm out here, nice good 6 inches away. So strike 1 is to the temple area. It's not across, it's on an angle, 45-degree angle down. So even if I miss his head, I can come down and still hit his chest, hit his arm, hit his hand, whatever's happening here, or right through that collarbone. Strike 1 to the temple. I got a nice extension. When I extend though, watch my elbow right here, watch this. See how I can straighten it a bit more? But there's a little bit of a bend in it. You want to keep that bend. You don't want to let it go hyperextended or straight, because if you miss the target, you'll find it hyperextends your elbow. So this is developing a whip-like strike. You're being able to whip the stick out there. Nice, beautiful full extension, and you're hitting the last 3 to 5 inches on the tip of that stick up into the, what do you call this area? The temple area. So here we are, my hands up, got my distancing, got my extension. There's my strike 1. I'm going to leave my feet, I said, so here's my strike 2. That's all I'm doing for strike 2 now. I'm coming that same angle, same on 1, 2, and that's the temple on this side now I'm hitting. But I'll stay my 6 inches away. So I've got 1, strike, come back to my shoulder, strike 2 on this side. Come back to my shoulder, I'm coming 3 to the floating ribs / elbow area. So I'm coming down here to the floating ribs. 4, I go to the other side, the floating ribs on the other side. And again, that elbow region. I see sometimes people hitting up around the shoulder, higher pectoral region for 3s and 4s. Let's drop those down, bring it down to that floating rib area, both sides. 5, down the center line, into the core, the belly button area. And from there, you'll see people sometimes do this, where they take the tip of their stick and go upwards. That's fine too, but right now I'm learning to drill. I want to, in the beginning, in yellow belt, I want to learn to penetrate through somebody, be able to enter and penetrate. So, what's this? We got Jenny D talking to us tonight. RE, wavering related to why my stick ratchets or bounces after an initial strike or hit. I'm just going to say yes on that one. I'm trying to understand it completely. We're talking about wavering of the tip of the stick. So it wants to do this, okay? Over time, regarding wavering, ratchets or bounces after the initial strike or hit. Oh, okay, so when you're talking about hitting someone else's stick, sometimes you hear 2 strikes or stuff like that. If that's what you're referring to, then yes. The other thing is when you learn to strike, there's an important part right here. Check that out. See this? Right here. This is a real good detail that a lot of people forget about. See how it turns white? Right here? And I call this my break. In other words, this is what's actually stopping the stick from moving when I'm learning to extend. It's hitting that brake. Look at that, it pinches. And right there, it compresses everything, and that's my brake. I don't let this happen. I don't let this slide. See how that slid up? If this happens, and you do a lot of striking, you're gonna get calluses on your hand, you're gonna get blood blisters on your hand. Why? Because for the first 2 years that I did this, I didn't know about it. And I had blood blisters and calluses from striking a lot and letting that, see how it kind of bumps over and kind of pops over here, and letting that move. So in the beginning, just even on a simple strike, there's a lot to learn, a lot of little details. And looks like I answered Janie's question properly. She says yes with an exclamation point. So, wonderful. Don't forget, everyone else, if you're logged in, do chat with me. I hope you can chat. I know some people say they have troubles chatting on YouTube sometimes. I'm not sure why, but maybe they have to have a channel in order to chat now. I'm not sure what YouTube's rules are. But anyways, RE, the brake, okay, yes, the braking part. So that little chubby part cuts down on that. It's not chubby, it's muscle. Okay, yeah, that cuts down on the wavering part. So when I'm learning to strike and I got that beautiful extension, I make sure that that 3 fingers strong, and when it's strong, it pinches right there, and there's my brake. I can get that beautiful extension. Out on number 2. Okay. And again, not letting this elbow hyperextend. Keep a little bend in it on your strike 1, strike 2. 3, down to that floating rib. 4, floating rib. 5, stomach. That's where we left off. Let's add on 6, because I said there was 12 in the beginning. 6, I'm coming back up, and I'm going for the pectoral region. In the pectoral region here. If this were armor on him, back in the day, there would be like leather or something right around the shoulder areas, so your arms can move or bend at the hips or at the knees. So when we're trying this, when I see people doing 6, I don't want to see 6 done like this. I don't want to see a poking straight for 6 or a poking straight for 7. This would actually bounce off the armor. You've got to penetrate into here and get into that leather. So in order to do that and get around the armor that's right here, I got to come on that angle. Look at that angle that's happening here. So when I'm poking 5 and I come back for 6, that's my angle right there. Coming in and penetrating there. There's 6. So I go 5, pull back, 6. Drop it down. Let this be a big scoop for right now. In the beginning, let this be like a big scoop of ice cream or something. You're bringing it up and it flows right into 7. Again, here's this beautiful angle happening. I don't want to go 6 and then cut across here and poke 7. 1, no power. 2, I'm not getting in through to the armor. And this is what we're practicing. What would make sense? Now, if someone doesn't have a shirt on, or any armor on, or jackets or anything else, I get it. You want to go poke, poke, fine, go poke, poke. No worries. But the idea is trying to maintain why we would accomplish something like that. Here's the cool part. If you learn 6 and 7 that way, when this person goes to block, it's a lot harder for them to block. This right here is easy for them to block. That is easy for them to block. But what you'll find is what happens when you aim like this and how that sets their body up in order for you then to, if they do block, counter. Who else do we have out there? Oh, sorry. All right, so earlier someone said that this was the chubby part here, and I said chubby, and now they said, sorry, the fatty part. So, yes, the muscular part of the hand here, of the palm, is what is the break. Okay, so where are we? We're on 5, 6, 6, going to 7. I let this scoop happen. I'll back up a bit. Maybe it's not catching it all. I let this scoop happen, and it's coming out. So I go from one side of the chest over to the other side of the chest. Got this nice angle. Now from here, I'm going to take the tip of my stick, and let it fall. Here, I let it fall. Watch my elbow now. My elbow comes in, so the tip just goes whoop. And as that happens, I turn my head and come down to the knee. There's my number 8. So I'm on 7, let the tip fall, turn my head, come down for the knee. Again, 7, tip falls, head down, go for the knee. From there, I teach my students, this left hand's here, right? After I've gone for the knee, I stick this left hand out and I trace my body. Trace my body all the way around, and I go for the other knee. So I'm on 6, scooping, 7, 8, stick my hand out, here comes number 9. 9 is the other knee. And then I come back up, 10 to the eye. For safety's sake, I don't point right at the eyes on people because I practice with a lot of people and I don't want my eyes poked out by accident. So in order to practice the eyes, go beside the head, stay 6 inches away, go beside the head. If you really want to hit it later, practice on someone like Igor. But good safety's sake for everyone out there, just go beside the head. And then here's my poke to the eye, number 10. So I went 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to let the tip of the stick drop again, just like from 6 to 7. This is from 10 to 11. I come up on this side, and again, I'm going to stay away from the head. There's my 11, there's my arc in there, my angle in here. And I'm going for the other eye. So, 1 temple, 2 temple, 3 floating rib elbow area, 4 floating rib elbow area, 5 penetrating down by the stomach, the navel, or where the pant line is, or where the chest plate comes down and then the pants start. That's the area we're coming in first. I can't just come into the sternum and come up, because if I practice that and this guy has armor on, I'm wasting my time. So the idea is come in where it would be less clothing, and then if you want to drive up or do other things like that later on and learn that type of stuff, you can do that. So there's 5 to the abdomen or stomach. 6, pectoral. Scoop. 7, pectoral. 8, around beside my head, down to the knee. 9, all the way around my head, all the way around. 9 to the knee. 10 to the eye, scooping, past me. 11 to the other eye, turn, crown, top of the head or forehead. So top of the head, forehead, or crown. So I'm 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Watch how I get to 12. A lot of people want to do this for 12. Not wrong. That's just another way. But I want my beginners to learn this way first. Once they're here, again, let the tip of that stick fall, turn my elbow and face the person, and strike. And what you'll find is, if this person wants to counter me, it's harder to counter me right now. If I go like this, and I come back here to hit here, look how much time they have to counter me. If I'm right here, so it closes off a little bit of that opportunity for someone to counter you, which is why I want you to learn that first. And like I said, this isn't wrong. There may be a purpose for it or a timing for it, but this one, everyone knows. Everyone can do that. But I want this one here and coming in right in here, number 12. So we'll repeat that 1 to 12 in just a second. Let me check and see if anyone else has chimed in with us tonight. Don't forget you're logged into Google's, on YouTube's. Chat with us. We've got the board up. We're ready for you. I've only got a couple minutes left because I said I'd only go to 7:20 tonight potentially. So bear with us and do subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. So here we go. 1 to 12. What I'm looking for within CMATS, the Canadian Modern Arnis Training Studios. We're leaving just the right foot forward for now. Don't worry about the footwork. And I strike 1. That's to the temple. 2. To the temple. 3 to the floating ribs, elbow. 4 to the floating ribs, elbow. 5, stomach. 6, pectoral. 7, pectoral. 8, knee. 9, knee, 10, eye, 11, eye, 12, crown. When I look at number 8 to 9 again, why do I want my students to do this? They could go like this, 8, boom, bring it right up from here, boom, and go 9. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that. That's another idea they can do. But in learning to strike, I'm trying to create a whipping sensation. And for those that have studied the whipping strike, it's different than the clubbing strike. Clubbing strike is more 90-degree, you know, boom, 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 boom. You know, we're very using this part of our stick more than we are using the tip of our stick for more clubbing or, yeah, I'm just going to call it clubbing for now, that type of idea. So the striking for this one is more of a whipping. It's like I want to see a whip, and when I throw it out, I want to hear that snap and that crack. And that's the type of motion that I'm looking for on the strikes. So I'm developing it from 8 to 9. I want this to come around. Secondly, we're protecting ourselves, checking what's going on, and then allowing that rotation to really start to develop and go for that knee, get that beautiful extension, and have that whip come out. Any questions on that? So there's some reasonings as to why we do things here at CMATS. Give you guys a second because I figured it out. It's not that there's a 2-minute latency, it's just my program wasn't set up properly and I wasn't where I should be. It's only a 8-second latency. So while you guys are just thinking for a second, if you have any questions, I'm just going to run through 1 to 12 one more time. Now, when we're doing 8 and 9 again, here's something else, 8 to 9. When do we go to do that? What's important? I always tell my students, if you think you're hitting low for 8 and 9, hit lower. I'll back up a second so you can see. The knee is here. Most times people's height for hitting 8 and 9 is thigh. They're hitting the thigh. They're not hitting the knee. Look at that angle. There we go. Now we're starting to hit the knee. Now how low is that? That's about 14 inches off of the ground. Hope you guys can see that. 14 inches off the ground. Anything more than 14 inches from the ground is now just hitting this big chunk of muscle. Well, I like to think there's muscle there. But it's just hitting that big chunk of muscle there. A big thigh hit. Yeah, we're going to get hurt. Yeah, you get a welt. Had those before in training. But when the knee gets hit, I'm not chasing after the person. No, I get hit in the knee. I'm like, okay, time to check with the doctor and see how my knee's doing. It's not an area where you want that person to be running back after you. So in training on Bob, or Igor, he doesn't have knees. He's got this hard plastic thing under him, and I don't want to make that noise. So you'll hear me hit, but I'm just hitting the bottom of his shorts. I am hitting the thighs. I'm not hitting his knees, but I'm aware of it. But I want the people out there training it to be knowing that they should hit lower, aim for the knee. So that there, if I back up, maybe you guys can't see that. If I got that there, that should be about 14 inches from the ground. Now when I walk forward, that is a good knee height. So as long as your stick isn't down here, you're not golfing, okay? This isn't hitting a knee, this is hitting ankles. But to get that knee, keep that in mind. Keep that hit low. There's nothing wrong with it. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out along the ways to make sure it's at the right height for you. Because some people will be like, what if they're shorter than you, sir? What if they're taller than you, sir? Is it more than 14 inches? 14 inches in quotation marks. Whatever your height is, look at the person's knee, pull up their pants, put your stick across and stand from them, and then measure that tip down. Okay. So that brings us with our 1 to 12 strikes. Real basic kind of idea tonight on the class. There's been no other questions yet that I see, unless we're, no, it looks like we're still good. It looks like we're still in We're still live. We're still live. So what's happening? A roundup in case you missed the beginning of this video. What is happening? We have a promotion. Oh no, well, we have a promotion day coming up where there is belt levels within the Modern Arnis and CMATS. We do have a ranking system. And what do we got? We got Mr. Barker out there tonight. Good timing. I'm not going anywhere now. Mr. Barker's here. Mr. Bill Barker, good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I'm glad you're able to text with us again. Jenny D, no more questions on my part. Bill, honey. Wait, you're calling Bill honey? That's very nice of you. What does H-N-Y mean? Oh, Happy New Year. You're not calling him honey. It's Happy New Year. I totally got it. No, I don't. Okay, so. Okay. Oh, I love it when I'm trying to interpret text. That's awesome. So, so where was I? So we have a promotion day coming up. The promotion day is coming up after our one-day camp we're going to put on this year. On Saturday, February 4th, is our one-day camp. We're going to go from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, stop for a little bit of a lunch break, stop for a little bit of a dinner break, but in that time we're just going to compress and just get our bodies working, have some fun, share some information, share some theories, some ideas for people to work on, refine our techniques, and eat some good food with some awesome people and enjoy ourselves. So if you're interested in that and you're in the area of Vancouver Island, love to have you guys out. We've already got sign up started. We're up over 10 already. We're hoping to about 15, maybe 20, but 15 would be a nice number. That's really comfortable in here. And so that's what we're doing next. If you're interested in that, let me know. There is a poster on our Facebook with Modern Arnis-CMATS, or is it CMATS-Modern Arnis? I always get it confused. Either which way, also we have a page there as well, Canadian Modern Arnis Training Studios on Facebook. If you've never been to our website, we have a website, www.modernarnis.ca. The Modern, MODERNARNIS, Modern Arnis, all one word, .ca. Oh, what else am I forgetting tonight? If you ever wanted to donate to the studio, there's a way to do that in the message box down below this video on YouTube. And it can tell you how to do that if you ever want to donate to the studio. Okay, where does that leave us? So, we got people are having some good chats out there. Oh, you guys, you're keeping me company. You're making me laugh. Obviously, Big Steve's not here tonight, but he does say hello to everyone out there. I chatted with him earlier today. And we got Igor helping us out tonight. So we went through our 1 to 12 strike. Does anyone have any requests out there? Mind you, people have requested in the past that I demonstrate some knife ideas. I don't demonstrate a lot of knife ideas on YouTube. I keep that more for my for the seminars that I give, things of that nature. I'm sure you could find lots of knife stuff on YouTube that I don't need to be doing it or sharing that knowledge. So, but the idea is, people have to learn how to translate what they're doing with a cane into what they're doing with a knife, into what am I doing with an empty hand, If I think of a number 1 empty hand, if you practice a martial art like karate or something else, you might think of a knife hand coming to the carotid artery, or you might think of the temple area. Some people like to hit with a lot of open palms, so they'll hit upside the head in the temple area with an open palm, knocking your brain around, knocking the sense out of you. Some people might like to just go for the eardrum. It's in the same area, and they cup. So that's my hit with a palm to the eardrum to bust the eardrum. Breaking the jaw, a lot of different ideas when you're empty hand, knife in your hand, I won't get into those right now, and a stick. One of the things I think people forget about with that number 1 strike is we always think you have to go for the head, but right there, that number 1 beautiful angle coming down right on the collarbone right there, no, that would hurt. No. That would not feel good. That's another wonderful area to say hello to someone to. Also, in the idea, if you're ever defending yourself and you're having something in your hand and you have to do it, everyone always thinks you have to go for the head or go for the groin right away or something. No. Hit what's closest to you. If their hand is extended, their arm's extended, trying to come reach at you, hit that. There's nothing wrong with that. Wait, hold on a second. I have to make sure I'm not putting myself in any lawsuits here. Okay, this is for cultural sake of understanding and remembering what it was a good idea to do in order to defend yourself. And if you ever try it, I am not held responsible for what you do. Stop the video here. Clip. Okay, so that being said, keep that in mind. You see us practicing and you see the two sticks hit. This is fantastic. You see the sticks hit. This represents this. But no one wants to practice with people after they've been hit in the hand 1,000 times in a day. You know, no one wants to be 65 years old and having their knuckles look like this. So that's one of the things Professor did, which is why it's called modern Arnis. It's one of the things he said. He said, I know these sticks are sacred. I know they're pure and good and they have good history with us. But if we practice hitting here first instead of each other's hands, look what we can do. Look how many people want to practice it. So that's one of the ideas of why we hit the stick first and not just demonstrate hitting the hand. But we must remember, this is what we're doing as part of our first block a lot of times. So keep in mind, whether something works or not, sometimes the definitions are not always there for people to fully comprehend or understand. So where does that leave us? Any other questions out there? Does anyone want to see anything else tonight? If you're practicing Redondo, okay? I've always talked about the idea you can never practice enough Redondo. Redondo is for us. Oh, we got a question. Be right there. Redondo for us is a temple, temple, forehead, temple, temple, forehead. So I go temple, temple, forehead, temple, temple, forehead. And sometimes you see people at parades got fire and chains and fire and they're whipping them around like this in this cool fashion. That might be what they're doing sometimes. It's just that simple little movement. But it's also a beautiful, striking idea and having fun with that. But let's go to the question for a second from Mr. Bill Barker here. I have a question. Most traditional martial arts teach meditation. Yes. Visualization. Yes. Being able to see things. Have you seen any FMA instructors include non-physical training into their seminar or class? Okay, so from my experience, within the FMA world, have I seen meditation being taught? I could say that I've heard about it. If I go back into my memory banks, pull open my Rolodex, for those that know what that is, and flip through it, it might stop at someone named Shishir Inokala. And I believe he was also one of the Ninja Turtles he was known for, famously known for back in the day, one of the Ninja Turtle movies when they first came out. He was one of the Ninja Turtles. And I think his practice of Arnis, whatever he's calling it, modern Arnis, Kali, Escrimas, whatever he's calling it right now, I believe he does use ideas of meditation, visualization, and I think he's also incorporated it into golf. San Antonio, Texas, after second day of camp, discussions in hot tub. There we go. There's some meditation for you and some visualizations. Okay, you know, I'm familiar with Datu Inokala. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so there you go. The hot tub discussions after the old seminars that we used to all go to. Yeah, why not? There's some good ideas there. Do I myself, in this club, in this class, include the idea of some meditations? Not on a consistent basis, but I touch on it in order to see who's interested in it. And if people come up to me later that have shown interest in it, then I guide them more on what they can do before or after classes. Or I sometimes will teach it at a seminar or camp based on the knowledge I've gained over the years, not from necessarily Filipino martial arts, but from other arts that I've practiced or people that I've met over the years in the martial arts. So hopefully that helps to explain some of that. Now, if I remember correctly, as we touch base on Mr. Shishir Inokala, Datu Shishir Inokala, was his title. I think the last time I heard he was in Florida. Sometimes he touches base for whatever reasons, potentially Vancouver, British Columbia. But it's been a long time. And obviously COVID, and no one traveled for 2 years. So who knows about that on a consistent basis of someone probably trying to teach visualization or meditation. So that's where hopefully I've answered your question there. And I'll even get into sometimes, you know, when it comes into breathing meditations or exercises, and slow things down for people to, what I call, take a moment of that day in their life to let their body find some rest, find some relaxation, get away from the rigmarole, the rat race, the driving stress of the day to get to and from your job, the kids yelling at dinner time trying to get to the studio, and you get here and you're just like, oh, what's next? So I'll watch people come in and see how their day was, ask them how they're doing, and then my warm-ups, I'll coordinate something sometimes to include that calmingness. So what do we got here? Wait, that was Scottsdale. Depends on where you were doing, because we even had, I think, some nice times even out in, you know, it might not even happen in a hot tub necessarily, but out in New Hampshire we were going to seminars. Texas, New Hampshire. I was going to seminars, and Arizona. So, and if meditating during a thunderstorm was a good idea. Okay, so Jenny B out there is referring to the idea that we were training down in Arizona and there was an electrical lightning storm. In other words, there's no rain, just lightning spidering across the sky on the hot day that it was. And it was like, and it's like, should we be in the hot tub right now, staring up at this, enjoying the view, because it was just gorgeous. I don't know. I'm not going to say whether we should have or not, but we definitely met some pretty awesome, cool people and got to share, beautifully share knowledge without anyone stepping on anyone's toes. And it's amazing what you can learn when everyone's all relaxed and sitting together. Poolside in Scottsdale, 2003, 2004. There you go. In fact, if there's a Chester Brown Jr. out there, and who I've known for a long time, if he ever watches this video, I got some good stories about him on poolside relaxation. But anyways, we won't get into that. That's not what we're doing. Last thing we talked about was, well, I hope, Mr. Bill Barker, that I was able to answer your question as best as I could with the knowledge that I have. Okay. Or that I'm retaining or remembering. But the last thing we talked about was this idea of Redonda. Nice extensions. I like Redonda for a lot of reasons. I can practice it year after year after year, and it just has so much to teach. But I teach people in the beginning to be big and bold. Have your chest up, no slumping, no in here. Having your chest up. Having these arms extended, nice, big, beautiful movements. Let it be flowery, let it be a flurry of sticks. And have that open up. And then later on, you can do just the elbows. And then you can do just the wrists. And you get that workout, and you just break it back out to the elbows, and then back out into the full shoulders and arms, nice and big. And finding the timing. People say I'm horrible at, not me, but people will say, I'm horrible at timing, sir. How do you expect me to get this? Well, when you're hitting something, that's what you're looking for, is that timing. When you have that timing and you've learned it really well, you can find the space within timing, with the space within a space. Finding those half beats is a lot easier than just trying to memorize something and hopefully you get it, the half beat. When you know how to figure out and how to create that half beat, that's why timing is important. Because people that just do the flurry without the timing, you better hope that flurry works, because if it doesn't, there's the reason why. You were just hoping it worked. You didn't work on it to make it work. And that's the difference. So learn that timing. When I'm doing my Redondo, When you first start learning Redonda, you'll hear this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, they haven't found the timing yet. So there's lots to be learned from the idea of doing Redondo. Can never do enough of it. Do it against trees, figure out what the recoil's like, or the bouncing off is like, and have fun with it. So that'll be wrapping up tonight. 1 to 12 strike I did earlier. A little bit of Redondo, answering some questions from some awesome people. I'm gonna wrap it up now because I got some other things I gotta do here at the studio tonight. And if you missed last week's video, I was alone last week as well. And last week I worked on some little bit of what I call, or people might call, iron palm training, and where I use this guy. And that's something I don't necessarily see a lot of FMA guys doing. But what interests me about it is when I was talking with the late Professor Remier Precis one time, and he's talking to the crowd and the people, and he goes, yes, you can do this and hit the knuckles, but that won't work on me. I thought that was an interesting line. And I think I know why that was an interesting line. So I train that as well, so that hopefully it doesn't work on me. We'll see. I'll keep training. Until then, I hope everyone else keeps training out there. Maybe we'll see you at the camp. Thank you for joining me tonight, keeping me company. It's been a pleasure, an honor, and we'll be here next week. Maybe Big Steve will be back on the mat next week. We'll hope for good health for him and his family and that he's able to. Or maybe Emma will be back. We'll see. Thank you very much, Igor. Thank you to everyone at home. On that point, do enjoy the view of the studio. I'm going to go do the techie bits, but I'll say and sign off. Good night now. And we got the thank you, sir, Mo. It's been a pleasure. Awesome sauce. Small world. Navasticks. That's right, Navasticks. I still keep in touch with Navasticks. Okay, there we go. And just before I do that, let's sign off, turn on the mic, and just a touch up and last thought for tonight. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and a bell notification and all that good stuff to make sure YouTube knows to share what we are giving away for free, pretty much almost. And because we love it, and it's a lot of fun. So hope that you guys enjoy it out there too. Good night, everyone.